Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
In continuation to the last class, in this class, we start with the 31st problem. So here, in this chapter, dual nature of radiation and matter, first see the first problem in this class, that is what problem number 31st, a crystal diffraction, right? Crystal diffraction experiments can be performed using X-rays or electrons, okay? Crystal diffraction experiments can be performed using X-rays or electrons accelerated through appropriate voltage. Okay, which probe has greater energy? That is what, either X-ray or the electron, that we have to find. For quantitative comparison, take the wavelength of the probe equal to 1 angstrom unit, comma, which is the order of interatomic spacing in the lattice. Okay, and they also given mass of electron in the problem, but mass of electron we know, that is what, 9.11 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. So it is like constant value, that's why I didn't write here, but it is also part of question, so they have given. Okay, anyhow, in this question, crystal diffraction experiments can be performed using X-rays or electrons accelerated through appropriate voltage. Which probe has greater energy, an X-ray photon or the electron? That is the question. Okay, to solve this problem, okay, to answer this question, for quantitative comparison, he is asking to take the wavelength of the probe equal to 1 angstrom unit, which is of the order of interatomic spacing in the lattice. Okay, right. See here, first answer. First, what are the values they have given, that we have to keep in mind. So what are the values they have given here? For X-ray photons, lambda is equal to 1 angstrom unit, that is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. So what is the energy of a photon? The formula E is equal to h nu, that is equal to hc by lambda, that is equal to hc by lambda. So that is equal to, h value is 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34, c value is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by 10 to the power of minus 10, which is equal to, so these all values are in joules, so the answer we will get in joules, but that you have to convert into electron volt by dividing with 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 90. After getting the answer in electron volts, you can convert into kilo electron volt, because kilo means 10 power 3. So finally, the energy of a photon in kilo electron volt will become 12.4 kilo electron volt. Okay, right. Next, for electrons here, for X-ray photons, okay, this is the energy, and for electrons, lambda is equal to 1 angstrom unit, that is equal to minus 10 to the power of minus 10 meters, right? Mass of electron, it is a mass of electron, that is 9.11 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. Okay, Now, first momentum P is equal to, the formula, the relation lambda is equal to h by P. So, P is equal to h by lambda. P is equal to h by lambda. That is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 divided by 10 to the power of minus 10. That is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 24, because here minus 10, no, when it goes to the numerator, it is 10 to the power of plus 10, and already minus 34 is here. That is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 24 kg meter per second. Kg meter per second. This is the momentum. Okay, right. Now energy of an electron, that is what kinetic energy, right, of mv square, that is equal to p square by 2m. You can write it as kinetic energy k is equal to p square by 2m. You can write that is 6.63 into 10 to the power of, right, minus 24 whole square divided by 2 into me, 2 into 9.11 into 10 to the power of, okay, this is what 2 into m, no, p square by 2 into m, that is what this is 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 24, and here 2 into 9.11, okay, 2 into 9.11 into 10 to the power of minus 31, okay. Here 2 into 9.11 into 10 to the power of minus 31, that is equal to 150.6, okay. So, that value you will get in joules, if we convert into electron volts, then you will get it as 150.6 electron volt, 150.6 electron volts, okay. And how to convert joules into electron volt? Just by dividing 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19, okay. Next, see here, that is what here, based on these two values, that is what here we got 12.4 kilo electron volt, here 150.6 electron volt. Thus, for the same wavelength, a photon has much greater energy than an electron, because it is what, kilo electron volt. It is what, electron volt only. So, you can say that thus for the same wavelength, a photon has much greater energy than an electron, okay, right. Now, next problem, see here, that is what, the problem number 32, see here. In problem number 32, here A, obtain the de Broglie wavelength of a neutron of kinetic energy 150 electron volt. Obtain the de Broglie wavelength of a neutron of kinetic energy 150 electron volt. As we have seen in exercise 11.31, because here only, as we have seen in exercise 11.31, an electron beam of this energy is suitable for crystal diffraction experiment, okay. Would a neutron beam of the same energy be equally suitable? Explain. So, he is replacing the electron with neutron and asking the same result. Is it possible? So, same result means what? Which is suitable or not? Okay, right. Before going to discuss the answer, once we will go through the problem once again. See here. Obtain the de Broglie wavelength. Obtain the de Broglie wavelength of a neutron of kinetic energy 150 electron volt, full stop. As we have seen in exercise 11.31, an electron beam of this energy is suitable. An electron beam of this energy is suitable for crystal diffraction experiment. Okay, full stop. Would a neutron beam of the same energy be equally suitable? Explain. Okay, right. See here, and it is what A, and there is one more. This question is like two parts. And next B. Obtain the de Broglie wavelength associated with thermal neutrons. Obtain the de Broglie wavelength associated with thermal neutrons at room temperature 27 degrees centigrade. Hence, explain why a fast neutron beam needs to be thermalized with the environment before it can be used for neutron diffraction experiments. For neutron diffraction experiments. Okay, right. So in question A, we have to check, would a neutron beam of the same energy be equally suitable or not? Okay. In question B, we have to explain why a fast neutron beam needs to be thermalized with the environment before it can be used for neutron diffraction experiments. For neutron diffraction experiment. Okay, right. First, say here, first we will go to discuss A, and then we will come to B. See here. And in this question, they have given the part of the question, they have given mass of neutron, that is 1.675. I didn't write here because that value we know no. 1.675 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg. That is the mass of neutron. What is the mass of neutron? 1.675 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg. Now, K value also they have given, that is 150 electron volt. This 150 electron volt you can convert into joules, no? So if we convert, to convert this 150 electron volt into joules, you have to multiply 150 with 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So 150 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 means, which will give us 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus 17. 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus 17 joules. Okay, that is the K value. Okay, and you already know this formula, K is equal to half mv square, that is equal to, you can write mv whole square by 2m, and that is equal to p square by 2m. Okay, right. So K is equal to p square by 2m. Therefore, de Broglie wavelength of neutron is, see here, lambda is equal to h by p formula we know no. So p is equal to square, from this p is equal to square root of 2mk, that is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 h value, square root of 2 into this value, mass of neutron, that is 1.675 into 10 to the power of 27 kg given, into K value, that is 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus 7. 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus, it is what, 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus 17 10 to the power of minus 17. Okay, so if you complete this mathematical calculation, finally we will get lambda value as 2.33 into 10 to the power of minus 12 meters. Okay, 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus 17 here. This is what K value, right? And then finally we are getting de Broglie wavelength of neutron 2.33 into 10 to the power of minus 12 meters. Okay, right. Next, see here, lambda value, de Broglie wavelength value, we got 2.33 into 10 to the power of minus 12 meters. Okay. So what is the information you can say here based on this value? What is the information you can say here? I didn't write here, but I am saying, you please listen. What is the interatomic space? What is the interatomic spacing? That is what 1 angstrom unit no here, which is the order of interatomic spacing. When it is 1 angstrom unit, that is 10 to the power of minus 10 meters no. Okay. So as the interatomic spacing 10 to the power of minus 10 meters is about 100 times greater than this wavelength. Am I right? 100 times greater than this wavelength. So a neutron beam of 150 electron volt. So a neutron beam of 150 electron volt energy is not suitable for diffraction experiments. Is not suitable for diffraction experiments. Okay. You just compare this value with this value. That is what, 1 angstrom unit or 10 to the power of minus 10 meters, right? So this is what, 100 times greater. Interatomic spacing is about 100 times greater than this de Broglie wavelength of neutron. That's why a neutron beam of 150 electron volts, a neutron beam of, because here we took energy no, that is what 150 electron volts we took in joules. So that we got, that is 2.4 into 10 to the power of minus 17. Okay, right. So because of this, because of this value is 100 times greater than this, 100 times greater than this, here this neutron beam of 150 electron volts energy is not suitable for diffraction experiments. Okay. Now B. So what is B here? Average kinetic energy of a neutron at absolute temperature T is. B is, see here ma. So what we have to calculate here in B? We have to explain why a fast neutron beam needs to be thermalized with the environment before it can be used for neutron diffraction experiments. And along with this we also need to calculate a de Broglie wavelength, right? So see here, average kinetic energy of a neutron at absolute temperature T is of mv square is equal to 3 by 2 kT, and this of mv square you can write it as p square by 2m. Now you can write P in terms of these values, that is P is equal, these two will get cancelled ma. P is equal to square root of 3m kT. Now de Broglie wavelength lambda is equal to h by p, h by square root of 3m kT, h value and 3m kT. Okay, T value also ma, it is 27 degrees centigrade given, but we have to take in Kelvin ma. So it is 300 Kelvin will come, and these values K value and m value So finally we are getting de Broglie wavelength as 1.45 angstrom unit, 1.45 angstrom unit. Okay. So what can we say here? As this wavelength is comparable to interatomic spacing, as this wavelength is comparable to interatomic spacing, which is approximately equal to 1 angstrom unit, in a crystal, thermal neutrons can be used for diffraction experiments. Full stop. A high energy neutron beam should be first thermalized before using it for diffraction. A high energy neutron beam should be first thermalized, before using it for diffraction. Okay, right. Now next problem, that is what problem number 33. See here. An electron microscope uses electrons accelerated by a voltage of 50 kilovolts, okay, right. Now determine the de Broglie wavelength associated with the electrons. He is asking to calculate de Broglie wavelength associated with the electrons. Okay, right. If other factors such as numerical aperture, etc. So if other factors are taken to be roughly the same, how does the resolving power of an electron microscope, compare with that of an optical microscope which uses yellow light? Okay, right. See here, once again I will go through the problem. You please understand what is the situation given in the problem and what are the things we have to calculate. Okay, see here. An electron microscope uses electrons accelerated by a voltage of 50 kilovolts. Full stop. Determine the de Broglie wavelength associated with the electrons. Full stop. If other factors are taken to be roughly the same, how does the resolving power of an electron microscope compare with that of an optical microscope, an optical microscope which uses yellow light, So we have to compare ma. So first we have to determine the de Broglie wavelength, and then we have to, by taking the other factors are taken to be roughly the same. So we have to compare how does the resolving power of an electron microscope compare with that of optical microscope which uses yellow light. Okay, see here. First given kinetic energy of an electron, kinetic energy of an electron K is equal to 5 into 10 to the power of 4 electron volts, because you know that K is equal to E into V, right? V is how much? 50 kV, no? This is what? 50 kilovolt. 50 kilovolt means 5 into 10 to the power of 4 volt, no? So when the voltage is 5 into 10 to the power of 4, then what about kinetic energy? Just you have to multiply with E. That's why I have written here a bracket clearly. So K is equal to 5 into 10 to the power of 4 electron volt. Okay, right. Now this we are going to convert into joules. 1.6 into, just we have to convert electron volt into joules. We have to multiply with 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 into 5 into 10 to the power of 4, that is equal to 8 into 10 to the power of minus 15 joules. 8 into 10 to the power of minus 15 joules. Okay, right. So it is what? 16 by 10 and 5 2 ja, so 8 will come, and it is minus 15 minus 19 4. So totally 8 into 10 to the power of minus 15 joules. Now de Broglie wavelength of electron is lambda is equal to h by square root of 2 mk, no? So m value already we know for electron 9.11 into 10 to the power of minus 31 into this value 8 into 10 to the power of minus 15. Okay, so complete this mathematical process. So de Broglie wavelength of electron, we will get it as 5.5 into 10 to the power of minus 12 meters. 5.5 into 10 to the power of minus 12 meters. Okay, so now what is the wavelength of yellow light? Is like a constant value, we know that is what? Lambda y is equal to 5.9 into 10 to the power of minus 7 meters. Okay, and one more thing we know here, that is formula for resolving power. You know, I didn't write here, but I am saying resolving power is inversely proportional to wavelength. I will repeat once again. Resolving power of a microscope, resolving power of a microscope is inversely proportional to wavelength. Based on that relation, you can write this one, no? That is resolving power of electron microscope divided by resolving power of optical microscope is equal to lambda y by lambda. So lambda y is 5.9 into 10 to the power of minus 7, lambda is 5.5 into 10 to the power of minus 12. So what is the value we are getting here? So which is, if you complete this mathematical process, here we are getting, that is approximately 10 to the power of 5. 10 to the power of 5. So when this value is 10 to the power of 5, what is our conclusion? Okay, so according to the question, what is our conclusion?